Hello everyone. Am I audible? Can anyone respond? Thank you. Thank you, Harshit. So we'll start the session in a while. So hope everybody is expecting your Tech Mahindra placement drive to happen, and we are in the process of preparing for that placement drives. So we from I'm Neo are here to help you with the placement preparation sessions for Tech Mahindra. Hope you would have had two sessions already, which covered your aptitude part and the rest. So today we'll start with the glimpses of your text session, what has to be concentrated upon, so that you can easily clear your technical round two. Okay. So as you all know that for your Tech Mahindra placement preparation, the first round is your online test, then technical test. So first round consists of your cognitive and technical assessment, and then you have your coding round, and then you will have your communication assessment, and then your interview round. So this will be your like the hiring pattern. And as far as hope this would have been discussed already, as far as your first round cognitive and technical assessment part is concerned, you can like expect both cognitive and technical assessment part. Okay, so you can expect both cognitive and technical assessment part. So yeah, you will be like getting coding questions, and starting from your cognitive section, you will be having English ability, which will be checked, critical reasoning and problem solving, abstract reasoning, and then comes your technical section, which will be comprising of your common applications and Microsoft Office, which means the basics of computer science you will be getting around, and then a few questions which revolves around your Microsoft Office, and then you will have your pseudocode part, network security, and cloud. Okay. And then as far as coding is concerned for Tech Mahindra, the major part or the complexity of the question will be from arrays and strings, which you have to like majorly concentrate upon. So you will be getting two coding questions will be given. Okay, so totally like you will be getting 92 coding questions, 92 92 questions overall, out of which you will be shortlisted from the technical rounds. Okay, this is the glimpses of your Tech Mahindra. And you might think, okay, you have like said your technical section will be comprising of 40 questions. Just give me a minute. So all these are the expectations which is arrived from the previous drives and from the job description and the things which is given already. So give me a moment. Okay, so like overall you are going to expect, so you from the technical section, so from the tech section you are going to expect 40 questions as MCQs. So this will be MCQs, and the major part that will be covered will be your common computer science based question, common computer science, and your MS Office based questions will be might be asked, and then pseudocode based questions. Pseudocode based questions will be asked where you might be like asked to find the output kind of pseudocode or any debugging or any error finding kind of error finding kind of pseudocode can be given. Okay, and then you might be asked with network security and cloud related questions. So you might think like see there are so many vast MCQs that I have to concentrate upon, how can I do like. Okay, so the expected split up, you might expect 12 from this, 18 from this, and then 10 from this part. And it's very easy to actually segregate. If you take basics of computer science and Microsoft Office, this would not be much difficult for you people, because this is going to be asked from the day to day activities or the basics of computer science. Whoever uses a computer for a longer period of time, surely they will be able to answer this particular point part, and they will not be finding it much difficult. And then comes pseudocode, which involves some logical thinking. Okay, so which involves some logical thinking. You must look into the pseudocode part, and more or less it will be similar to that. Whoever is very strong in Python, they will be feeling it very easy with your pseudocode. Okay, so pseudocode kind of thing has to be like, it has to, you have to understand the flow of your pseudocode and then find the workout and then find the answer for it. Then comes your network security and cloud. Of course, the basics of network surely you would have studied in your UG. Okay, so that kind of basic knowledge is necessary. Whereas coming to cloud, you might think this to be a very advanced technology, but not. You have to majorly concentrate on the services provided. Okay, like your PaaS, SaaS, and then infrastructure as service. So you have to be very very clear with what all these kinds of services are going to be providing. Okay, so that is what your tech MCQs are going to comprise of. Next, if you see, you have your coding questions. You have your coding question, you will have two coding question, and the maximum time that might be given will be only more or less 45 minutes, which you can solve in your comfortable language, C++, Java, or it could be Python. Okay, or even .NET, Okay, so many compilers, okay, so many compilers will be enabled for you to solve. And the more concentration has to, you have to be very thorough in the basics of programming. Basics in the sense your operators, and what correct kind of data types should be used, and then arrays, strings. So of course, to do all these you have to be very thorough with your control statements. So most of your coding questions will be revolving only around arrays and strings, and not a very big data structure kind of question or a scenario based question which will make you very difficult. No, you have to be very thorough. You should logically crack what is the problem statement being asked, and then you should be able to answer it in an efficient way. Okay, so in your problem solving, like so if you say take your network security kind of things, you have to like concentrate more on your basics of networking, then encryption standards and algorithms, what are the network security devices, related protocols, and what kind of attack types are possible, firewalls. Okay, so these are the basic syllabus that you have to cover upon. And programming fundamentals, of course, as I said, the in order to crack your pseudocode, of course you need to know the basics of data structures in a basic level, functions, recursion. So all the basic criteria has to be known. And then comes your coding for, as I said earlier, you must know conditional looping, arrays, functions, string, data type, and operators. So, since most of your questions are going to revolve around this particular thing, okay, so in this session also, we are going to look into some array related concepts and your string related problem. Okay, so if you see array, mostly it might be based on a subarray based problem, or it could be a subset based problem, or it could be a subsequence based problem. Okay, so you must try to categorize what kind of problem it is coming in. And if you're not going to analyze all these three things, of course, then your problem will be very very easy to crack. If you apply your brute force algorithm, you will be able to crack your logic. Okay, normally mathematically you have to arrive with the logic, and then you will be able to crack the code. Okay, so in order to just start with your array, as I said, all your problems will be revolving around either the subarray or subset or subsequence. So first you need to know what is subarray, what is subsequence, and what is subset. So this basic understanding is very very important before solving any of your problem. Okay, now coming to subset sub array. So your subarray is a contiguous part of an array, okay, which means all the elements in the subarray are consecutive elements from the original array, okay, and the order of your elements will also be maintained the same. So if I just explain with an example, you will better understand, okay, you will understand better. So let me consider this: 1, 2, 3, 4. So I need to form a subarray out of this main array. Okay. So my first subarray will be 1. This will be one of my subarray. Next, my subarray 2 will be 2. And then my subarray 3 will be the element 3, and my subarray 4 will be my element 4. Okay, so this is considered to be an array, subarray, one subarray, second subarray, third, fourth. So if you see the element, it contains only one element, so you need not worry about the contiguous ordering of your elements. Next, I'm going to form a subarray 5, which comprises of 1, 2. So this has to be maintained in the same order and it has to be contiguous. Okay, and I'm going to form the next subarray, subarray 6, which will be 2, 3. This will be my another subarray, and my next subarray 7 will be 3, 4. So if you note correct properly, you could see that the elements are allocated contiguously in your subarray. Okay. Next, coming to subarray 8. So I'm going to frame my subarray 8 with 3 elements, 1, 2, 3. Okay. Next, subarray 9, which comprises of, so any guesses? So my subarray 9 will comprise of 2, 3, 4, and then finally my subarray 10 will be the all the elements in the contiguous order. This is how you have to form your subarrays. So your all the elements in the subarrays will be consecutive elements from the original array. This is how your subarrays will be formed. So now, then how is my subsequence formed? Okay, so your subsequence will be a sequence which is derived from the array by deleting some or no elements without changing the order of your remaining elements. You're going to form the subarray like this, but whereas you're going to form a subsequence either by deleting the elements from the array with no or more elements. Okay, even an empty array will be considered to be a subsequence of that particular original array. Okay, so for the same example, how can I form the subsequences? So my subsequence 1 can be only the element 1. My subsequence 2 can be only the element 2. Subsequence 3 can be element 3. And subsequence 4 can be element 4. My next subsequence 5 will be 1, 2. Subsequent 6 will be 1, 3. Subsequent 7 will be 1, 4. Now try to understand the difference between your subarray and your subsequence. So it will be the consecutive elements of by either by deleting one or more elements from your array. Next, subsequence 8 will be, it should maintain the order. Remember, it should maintain the order. Subsequence 9 will be 2, 4. Subsequence 10 will be 3, 4. And then my next subsequence, it will be framed with 3 elements, 1, 2, 3. Subsequence 12 will be 1, 2, 4. Subsequence 13 will be 1, 3, 4. Subsequence 14 will be 2, 3, 4. And then subsequence 15 will be 1, 2, 3, 4. Look at the difference between your subarray and your subsequence. Okay. So your subsequence will be formed from the subsequence will be formed from your original array in a consecutive order by deleting some one or more elements. Now, what is then subset then? So if you take my subset, the only difference between your subsequence and subset is that you need not do not maintain the consecutive order. Do not maintain the consecutive order. So that is the only difference with your subset. It will not maintain the consecutive order. It can be placed in the elements can be placed in any order. Okay. So to make it simple, your subset can include any combination of elements from your original array, and it does not need to maintain the order of your elements as in the original array. Also, it can be short as an empty set, or it can be long as a original array itself. Okay. So now let us consider a simple example. We'll consider a set A, which consists of the character M, N, O, P, Q. And then let's consider another array which consists of the character K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R. Okay. And I'm going to form a subset now. See your A. Okay. Listen carefully. A is a subset of B. Okay. A is a subset of B, where your B consists of K, L, R, and your A consists of M, N, O, P, Q. So now if you see, your A is a subset of B. You need not maintain any order. A is a subset of B. There is no need to maintain any order. So now for what kind of applications can I apply these subarray or algorithm or subsequence algorithm or a subset algorithm? Whenever, if your problems are involving contiguous segments, okay, such as finding the maximum subarray, okay, whenever you want to find a maximum subarray, okay, when you want to find a maximum subarray or maximum maximum sum or maximum product. So for all these, you can choose your subarray algorithm. Then what about my subsequence? Goes your, it does not require any contiguity. Okay. So it can be used to find the longest common subsequence, and might be used for longest common, longest increasing subsequence, longest common subsequence, and then longest increasing subsequence can be done with this algorithm. Then what about my subset? Does it not have any application? Yes, it do have some application, where you are given the requirement to find the combinations. Okay, whenever you are required to find the combination, so combinatorial problems, for combinatorial problems you have to use your subset. Hope you have got a clear idea on what is an array, subsequence, and then subset order. Okay, so this is how, to this level, if you know, that is enough for solving or cracking your Tech Mahindra problems. Okay, so next is a slide which just showcases you one of your Tech Mahindra problem. Okay, so if you see this problem, it's very simple. You have to count the characters of the that are not repeated in the string, which means that you have to find the unique characters. You have to find the unique characters. This is the requirement of my problem statement. Okay, so we are going to solve this particular problem. And what is the input that I take upon? I take upon the input string, and then input string which has to be like compressed, and then I will be printing the integer output, the number of in a number of unique characters. Okay, so that has to be returned. We are going to look that example now. So whichever is your comfortable language, you can use that to solve your program. Today I'm going to solve it in Java. Just a minute, I'll share my screen. Okay, so I hope everyone is clear with the problem statement. And apart from the string and your array problem, you have to be very thorough with your number conversions also, which is also one of the important covered in your Tech Mahindra assessments. Okay, here I'm going to solve it with my collections. Okay, I'm going to use my hash map, and then to store my data, to have a track of the character whichever is repeated or not repeated. So I'm going to use a hash map header file, and then I'm going to use, sorry, package, and I'm going to use my map package also. So next, public class main, and we will declare the main function public static void main string args. So the logic is going to be very simple. I'm going to have the track of, I'm going to, since map holds the key value pair. Okay, in Java, map is used to hold the key value pair. So I'm going to, so what I'm going to do is, I'm going to map my character and its value of how much time it is, the count of each character is going to be stored in the map, so that I can have a track and I will be able to retrieve which character is going to have the count was one. Okay, whichever is not repeated, I will print that character. Okay, so I will declare a string first. So I will declare the string which has to be compressed as per the problem statement alpha data. Okay, so this is the sample statement I give. So if I want to print only the unique characters, okay, the repeated characters should not be printed. So how many unique characters do I have? I have L, P, H, I. So the number of unique characters in this particular string is 4. Okay. And remember, whenever sometimes you might be asked to only to write the logic, all the main function and the rest of the things will be given, like as in your automata fix, but sometimes you might be asked to write the entire program. Okay, so if you are asked to write the entire program, then it is must that you write your programs using your function concept. Okay, the logic of your function has to be written, the logic of your program has to be written in function. Okay, now I'm going to have a user defined function. So int result equal to, I'm going to have a function called count non repeated character. Okay, so make sure you have all the meaningful names for your all count non repeated characters, and I'm going to pass the string comp string, and then I'm going to print the result. So I will be able to print the result. Okay, now the first test case that you should always consider is, let me just define the function, then we'll talk about the test cases. Static int count non repeated characters. So I'm going to pass a string which is comp string. Okay. So the first test case that I have to consider is, you have to think about the empty string. What if my string is an empty string? Okay. So if my string is an empty string, you should return 0. Okay. So that is one of my first test case that I have to remember. So I will be comparing my compressed my input string, whether it is equal to null, or you can even use the function comstring dot is empty. So both these function can be used to check if my string is an empty string. If that is the case, then I have to return 0. Now let us get into the logic of your program. So I have to create a map which is going to hold the character and an integer. It's going to be a key value pair. So I'm going to have my key as the character, and the value is going to be the count or frequency of each character. So I will have the name as char frequency for easy identification. So I'm creating a hash map object. Now I have created a collection which, and this is used to count the frequency of each character. Count the, so actually you have to like think about all the languages do contain the some powerful concepts like collections or generics. Okay, you have to make use of those concepts to make your program efficient and to stand out from the from your fellow competitors. All these will be making you different from the people who are attending interviews along with you. Okay, the way you approach the problem is very very important. And now I'm going to count the frequency of each character. Okay, so is this enough? I have just created a map now with a key value pair. Now I have to iterate through the character array and I have to store this into the map. Okay, so that is what we are going to see next. Okay, so to iterate through character array, I don't have any character array here. I have only a string. So now that has to be converted into a character array. So to convert that, we have an inbuilt function which is to char array. So this is an inbuilt function that can be used to convert your string to a character array. Now my character, I have my map being defined, and I'm going to use my char frequency and put that particular character. Char frequency is the map reference. Using that reference, I just enter my character, and then the char frequency dot get or default. Okay, so this is a method which helps you get the default values. Okay, so this can be used each time, and it can be incremented if that particular, the count can be incremented if that particular character again arises. Okay, now I have my count variable as 0. Okay, and for now, again, after filling my map, I have to access through the map to get the entry values and check which are the characters that has the unique, which means the value equals to 1. Okay, so that I'm going to find out. So I'm going to have another map which will help me to enter the unique characters dot entry set of. Okay, so now this helps me to enter the values inside. So what are the characters that I'm going to enter? I'm going to enter only the characters which have the value equal to 1. So get value is again a method which can be used. It's a map method which can be used to get the value of that particular entry or the character. Okay, after that I am incrementing the count. So why do I increment the count? Because I have to display only the consolidated number of unique characters. So I will increment the count and I will return the count. So I hope this should work. Let's see. Okay, what happened? Yeah, terminated with a string. Yes, we have got it. So there are 4 unique characters which is not repeating. So L, P, H, and I are the characters. Okay. And next, if you see, I have another test case also to be checked. So what will happen if I pass an empty string? Okay, so it accepts, I'm sorry, I have left a space. So it accepts space as a character. I'm passing an empty string. Yes, this test case also gets passed. So let me give you 2 minutes to analyze the code. See, while seeing it looks very difficult, but whenever we solved it, it looks very simple. I'm just going to have a map which is going to hold my key value pair. So now this is the trick. Whenever you have to deal something with this frequency count or something, a number of zeros, number of ones, number of characters, if you're doing any logic with this character kind of thing, or sorry, number based thing, finding the frequency of something, okay, you can, just by closing your eyes, you can use your map method to hold the values. Let me give you 2 minutes to analyze what happens, and then we'll move on to the next problem. So if anyone If people are interested with Python, well and good, you can even optimize it more. You can use your dictionary to hold your key value pairs and access your values. If anybody is having any doubts, you can post it in the chat. I think through this program you might have known few of the methods from the collection, map collection. I know it's very difficult to remember all the methods, but it comes through only through practice. You have to practice a lot to remember these methods, at least for the basic collections like your array list, hash map, set. For all these, at least if you remember, it is well and good. This will help you at any point of time. And remember, this kind of level will, or the difficulty level will be there for your Tech Mahindra assessment. So the preparation can be like, you can, if you are too good with your basic programming and you can just crack or whatever can be given in your array and string, it's well and good. You can concentrate on the rest of your analytics part or your aptitude and on the things. Okay. And you can concentrate more on the pseudocode part, MCQs from different streams. So all these can be concentrated upon. And let me show you the some other problem, and we'll discuss something on that. So this is the problem that we have solved it, and then comes another problem. Okay, so you have to write a program to calculate the and return the sum of your absolute difference between the adjacent number in an array of positive integers from the position entered by the user. First of all, I hope everyone know what is an absolute difference mean. Okay, so an absolute difference means if I'm subtracting 3 minus 5. So if it is a normal subtraction, okay, if it is a normal subtraction, 3 minus 5 would result in minus 2. This will be my result. Whereas in your absolute difference, the output resultant value will be always positive, even though my subtrahend is a negative one. So this is the absolute difference. That is the question. And in Java, you almost in all the programming languages, you have the function to find the absolute difference. Okay, you do have the function to find the absolute difference. So here if you see in Java, I have that math.abs function to find the, okay, so I have the function named math.abs of, and I need to pass the value 1 comma value 2. It could be even array value, whatever it is. I have to, this math.abs will be taking up two parameters. So and this will be resulting your absolute difference. This will result in the absolute difference. Now I have a constraint that I have to sum all the absolute difference starting from the given point. So in that case, what I have to do is, for example, if you consider this example, 11, 22, 12, 24, 13. So I need to find my fifth value. So my fifth position will be, so here they have mentioned a note. What is it? The first is the number of position from where the sum is to be calculated. So I will take this position as 1, 2, 3. It's not indexed, remember, it's a position. So I take from 1. If it is mentioned as index, then it has to start from 0. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, 6, 7. No, I have to start from my fifth index. Okay. So adjacent values has to be subtracted. So 13 minus 26 will be one value, which will be 13. And then 26 or 14 minus 14 or 14 minus 26 will be the other value, which will be equal to 12. And if I do the sum, it will be 25. If I do the sum of this, it will be 25. And the logic is, you have a mathematical function to calculate the absolute value, and you have to use a for loop to access through the position from which you have to start your start finding your absolute difference and then add it. So this is seems very simple and easy to implement also. Okay, remember guys, this kind of difficulty will be mostly expected in Tech Mahindra assessments. So this Tech Mahindra assessment, like almost even non circuit branches will be like attending it. So the difficulty level will be like common, which can be attempted by all branches of people. So it will be like a medium level question which comprises of array and strings. So that's it from today's session. If anybody is having any doubt, like we'll have this final 10 minutes or 5 minutes for the QA session. Okay, if anybody is having any doubts or what would be the expectations being set, you can ask me through chat. Okay, then we'll meet up in the next session. Thank you all.